I am Cosmo, and this is Automations with Cosmo, where I share my cosmic journey into AI automation. Hello, and welcome to another session, or actually my first session of Automations with Cosmo. Imagine a world where your thoughts can flow freely, and you will never forget anything. By the end of this video, you will know how to record your thoughts, write them down, and save them into a Notion database for further processing. Let's dive into the modules we will use today. We will use Telegram, a familiar messaging app that is just great. It provides you with amazing API connections that you can use for any application. ChatGPT, obviously all know ChatGPT, a revolutionary LLM model. Notion. Notion is an all-rounder. You can do pretty much everything with it. That's why I like it. So you can just connect it to all your workflows and use it for whatever you need. We will also learn how to convert different audio files into different formats with Convertio. Okay, now let me tell you about Eden AI, another tool we will be using, which is a true AI superpower. You will be able to do anything with AI using Eden AI. Okay, so let's see how can we create a new Telegram bot. So you go here. Basically, the first thing you do is you go and ask the bot father. The bot father is the creator of all bots. Then you see here I have a bunch of bots already. But what you do is you go and create a new bot. Voila, new bot. Now my internet connection is not working. Now it is working. Okay, all right. The new bot. How are we going to call it? We call it voice message assistant. Bam, let's go. Okay, now how I call my bots is voice message assistant underscore bot. Let's do it. Done. Look, there is not even a bot called voice message assistant on Telegram, which shows a lot. So there is lots of potential. Okay, then we copy the token. Bam. Now let's start. So we got our API token from Telegram. So we can set up a new message trigger where we will just watch Telegram. So we watch the updates and we need to choose a hook now, which we will have to add based on a specific bot. As you see, I have a lot of Telegram bots, but now we add a new one. And we call it voice message assistant underscore make tutorial 1. Yeah. Let's get the key here. Voila, the token. I'll save it. Let's give it a second to load. Okay, and now we call it tutorial 1 webhook. Save. Done. So you have to understand the power of this. This is basically using Telegram as a graphic user interface. So you don't have to code a whole software solution. You can just use Telegram for whichever data input you need. And most of people have Telegram, so it's really not forcing them to install any new software. You can just, piggyback on what's already existing, already there and being used every day by, I think, over 1 billion users. Okay. So now the first step is done. And as we always do, we name the modules. So we will call this the message trigger. Voila. Okay, let's continue. What we do now is we add a router. because we want to actually have different routes depending on what's happening in the message, right? Because we have voice messages, but we also have pure text. At the same time, we want to give feedback whether the message was well received. So next module will also be a Telegram module where we actually send a reply. So based on the input of the user, we will send him a reply so he knows, okay, something is happening in the background. Okay, great. So what are we going to do now? We're going to rename the module task confirmation message. So what we do here is we said make tutorial. We take the chat ID, which is somewhere hidden here, chat ID, and we will just write task confirm, no, task received. Let's say task received. So if the user sending a task knows, okay, it's being processed. Okay, great. Now we need to set up a logic that differentiates between voice messages and text messages. And the next module will actually be ChatGPT, create a completion. We place it here and we rename it title librarian. So what we will do is that whichever content we actually share with the Telegram assistant, he will automatically decide in which category as a librarian to sort it so we can find it easier afterwards. Okay, now we need to set up a filter. So let's set up a filter where we say is text input, because obviously we have different routes whether the input is a text or it's a voice message. And here we can go into message, voila, and text. And we just say, okay, does it exist? Because if there is text, we can proceed with this route. If there is not, and we will just clone this for, oh yeah, the filter doesn't clone. So I need to delete it. In case it's a voice message, we need to download the audio first to be able to process it later. So what we do is, where is it? Download a file. So we take our assistant and the file ID we would need to double check. Okay, so we find the file ID. Sometimes you won't find the module you need if you haven't pre-run the scenario. And we can dive into that a little bit deeper later if you're interested. And we also set here a filter, obviously, because we don't want text to run through this route. And we just ask the same question, is audio input? So set a filter is audio input, question mark. And the condition is that this file ID exists. Okay, why don't we try it out once? So let's move myself here. Let's run it once. Okay, so what's happening? We wait for new data. What is the webhook doing? The webhook in Telegram is listening to the bot and any new messages it receives. So let's try. I will now message something and say, hey, what's up? Question mark. I send it now. Bam. So you see, the message webhook was triggered, and we see here all the data. So I wrote, hey, what's up? Something didn't work out well here on the chat ID. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I did a mistake here because I went into edited channel. This is very common and frequent because the edited channel is before the actual message and chat ID. So what I actually need to find here is this chat ID. Voila. So this is the correct one. The edited channel post is not the correct one. Okay, we adjusted this. and we can proceed. Okay, done. Save. And so let's just try for the sake of completeness. If we run this again and use existing data, bam, confirmation message. And I received here task received, so the automation is working. Okay, great. Let's proceed. So what I did is here I'm connecting my ChatGPT connection with a create chat completion, and we're choosing GPT-4 in the system role. And as you see here, we have a prompt that you can copy paste from the description of my YouTube channel, of my YouTube video. And I like to put max tokens 1500, as my experience tells me this is a very good number. Okay, and then we go on to add message, user, and we say the message content is obviously, so be careful message, not edited channel, not edited message. Here you take this, the message text. In this case was the start from a new user, so from me using the bot, and this is actually an important aspect to filter through the start message if you use this with lots of users. Okay, so here I will filter start question mark, and so if it's a start, it just blocks the execution. So this equal to slash start, like not equal to. So you make sure that if somebody installs this bot newly, the automatic message start doesn't trigger any of the workflow, because it's obviously not supposed to. Save. Great, so we have our chat completion. Now let's clone this and directly create the category librarian, how I call it, librarian. Okay. Great. So I also prepared here a system prompt that we can just copy paste, and then the user is actually the message text. Same. Save. And then if we want to, we can test it out. Why not? So let's say run once, wait for new data so I can send a proper message, and go on Telegram. So today I thought I won a client, but I did not. This triggers reflections on how to generate leads consistently. Send. Task received. And as you see, bam, I received a confirmation of task received. And here now we have exactly a title, thoughts about leads. Feels pretty correct to me. And then the category is business. Great. Okay, let's continue. So the next module, we will actually add Notion. And what we say is we create a database item. Now I have my database item ID. And what you can do, if you don't have it, is you just search here and you put in the text of the name of your database. Yeah, this is the wrong one. It's here. Okay, great. So now we are going into filling out the fields. So first of all, the name, where we say the title librarian, obviously. So we want the name, we want the title. Then we have a start time. I just want to bookmark the date so I know, when I share this thought. But look, and then the text, we also map them. As you saw, you could select, we want to map them. And the tag is the category librarian. It says it's business. Okay. This is actually it. What we then do is we append some content. which content, because I want to have the actual message I sent also in the database. First of all, rename this create new thought item, and then and thought. Okay, so database ID is exactly the same. Oh wait, no, page ID, because we create now page ID, which is database item ID. And what we add is just a paragraph where we actually put the text I sent. So the content is this one. Okay, save. Save. Okay, and then yeah, let's add this last module. So it's actually similar to this one, clone, where we say okay, so we saved the new content in Notion. Now we say success. And what we want to add is our title. So we'll send back the title. Voila, success. Then add a new line and tell us also the category. Bam. Okay, save. Should we try it out? Let's try it out. Let's use existing data. Yeah, was a start, fail. So let's try again. Let me go onto my Telegram. Bam, send. Okay. And bam, it worked. Look at this. We received back a message saying success, title, thoughts about leads, category, business. And if we go into our Notion date, 1st of August, there you go. Bam. Okay. Now let's go down the voice route, the more interesting one. So download audio. Bam. What do we do now? Now we need a new module. We actually need a few new ones. So the first one is we will need converter because we want to convert the file. So what's happening here is we get the Telegram bot, but it's in an odd format that most of the transcription AIs cannot handle. So what we do is we actually convert it to OG, which I guess we write small OG because it's OGA. Most of the services cannot handle. Let's say here. Okay, done. And now comes my superpower or my super secret, not so secret tool, which is actually drum rolls. Eden AI. So Eden AI is an AI aggregator. You literally can do everything with it. Now what we do is we transcribe audio file into text. So we take this one. From my experience, Assembly AI is fantastic. I would say English here. Yeah, save. Now, this is an async transcription. What does it mean? It means that the module will run through even though the subscription is not ready and give you a processing status. So there's various ways to handle this. If you were unsure of the length of this message, and it could be like a minute, 10 minutes, or like 3 hours, I would recommend you a little bit of a more complex route. But now, as we know that voice messages might probably not be longer than 10 minutes, we put a sleep module because from experience, this will be enough for the processing to end. And then what we say is we get the actual transcription. So yeah, get. So how this works is that you get actually the ID from the first module, and then you can actually get your transcription. Well, I'm happy to announce that it's basically done. So what we do now is we copy and paste this whole part because this whole bunch is kind of the same. What we need to change though is that instead of giving the text here, we give the transcription. Easy peasy, smooth. Bam, bam, tsaki tsaki, bam. Automation with Cosmo, you know what's up. Let's add a little thing because sometimes this module, and this is a very important part about like error handling. If you have a module that sometimes does trouble, causes trouble, you can add error handling. And what I recommend in most of the cases is a break handle. So I would say because this what it does is it basically attempts to run the module again 3 times in an interval of 1 minute, and most of the time for API calls you solve the issue. If there are deeper issues, you need more complex error handling, but this is a very stable one. And what I generally then also do is I clone this. So I want to obviously let the user know that there was an error. Error. We are processing again. Away process. Bam. Automations with Cosmo. You know what's up.